You're listening to Hackers IRL. We're the people the news pretends are a single character. We are not. We pop shells, walk our dogs, fight with our printers, and somehow ship the work. This show is voicemails. Brain dumps from our side of the wire about whatever's on our minds. The line stays open. Up next, Panda from Ashura, the superheroes of cybersecurity. Here's their story.
Hey guys, it's Panda. I'm just hanging here on Sunday. I guess it's a week since I made this thing already. That's pretty cool. Today, I just wanted to leave a little bit of a nerdy note. I have a lot of personal projects that I've been working on. I know some of you know about various ones. I will say that I use Cloudflare a lot, and I've been going through the back end of figuring out the good versus bad bots. And I just wanted to make a quick comment on it. So, like, right now, some of my personal websites are getting around 250,000 bot requests daily, if I actually let them happen. That, kicked off kind of out of nowhere. Overnight, it went from nothing to 22,000 to, 250,000, just kind of, throughout the day. These bots are basically cloud search, especially, is the majority of those numbers. It's just recommending kind of one of my websites as the source of truth for dog spots around the world. So that's been pretty cool, and I really want that traffic. But digging into it, it's like, obviously, I don't want competitors, just scraping my site and, costing me bandwidth. And other malicious, scrapers out there. I don't want to just give unfettered access to everything that's on my site. To the users, obviously, I want them to be able to access things, but, you'd be surprised how much traffic, or I guess this is a hacker podcast, probably not, on the internet is actually bot traffic nowadays. So anyway, this is where we're going to get into the real nerdy part. So there's kind of all these scrapers and crawlers out there. There's search tools, which, like Perplexity and Claude and stuff, where, on chat, you'll ask about something and then they'll quote my website as the source. And then there's just, Joe Blow scraper from a home internet connection, trying to do whatever. I get kind of all the above. Since I run through Cloudflare, I have a little more visibility than most, and that's been really helpful as I tweak my setup. But one thing I ran into is, Cloudflare gives you full visibility in their dashboard for, what is a bot supposedly from Anthropic versus ChatGPT versus Bing. I've noticed that I don't have the same level of visibility on the back end of Cloudflare. So I can see whether a bot is verified or a bot is in a certain category, if it is a verified bot on the Cloudflare side. I can also see, information about the AS, and IP that bot came from. But one thing and the user agent. But one thing that's really interesting is there's no pass-through to say that, Cloudflare determined that this is an Anthropic bot or a Bing bot or whatever else. Cloudflare on their side, they do it with a list of provider IPs and ASs, and they're supposed to have it verified where they're looking at the UA that the bot is coming from and the source network that the bot is coming from and validate whether it's a verified bot. In practice, what I'm seeing is I turned on some protections against verified bots, and I started dropping a bunch of legitimate Claude bot traffic. So first off, on Cloudflare, not everything is a verified bot. But secondly, if you are a verified bot, whether or not you're one of the big bots on Cloudflare or not, the other people on Cloudflare are only really going to see whether or not you're a verified bot, or and your category that they associate with you, whether that's search or, scraper or, crawler, AI crawler. They have different categories for different types of automated scanners, but, various AI traffic. But you can't tell really, like, if I am Anthropic. There's no like Cloudflare confirming that I'm, Anthropic or Bing or, ChatGPT, Apple. The place that would happen is before it's determined that it's bot traffic, and unless the person actually, is looking, the webmaster of their site is looking for more detail on the other end of that, from additional info about the network that Cloudflare provides. You might accidentally let in attackers, or people maliciously scraping your website in hopes to let in, what are essentially good bots. It's weird because it's like, this is a different game than, and from the attacker's perspective, you could use this on the flip side. If you have something that's classed as a Cloudflare bot, you can see about scraping other people's resources and see if it's a magic wand, and, they just allow list you. But anyway, this is a whole new thing where it's like, before, I feel like it was a lot easier with, traditional search and robots text, to determine, who are the good guys versus who are the bad guys, who is a Google, or a user behind a website that's trying to get something, and who's just trying to scrape data for as little cost as they can. Because really anybody can do that now. With AI, it's super easy to scrape data. I think the valuable thing is how we curate the data, and how we can basically build, systems and communities to keep that data current and interesting. So anyway, if you have any insights to this stuff, or I'm, not taking into consideration an open source tool or a product or, something that makes all this way easier, please just definitely hit me up on the back end on LinkedIn or Discord or whatever. But, I just wanted to share as I'm working through some of this stuff. It's really interesting to see. A lot of people don't even know that the term geo yet, but that's the new kind of form of SEO. So, I guess we're all going to need to figure this out eventually, whether or not you have a project now, or it's something you'll do for work later. So, anyway, I'm petting my doggo. I'm just waking up here. I slept in, but yeah, I'm gonna go out for a bike ride or something later, enjoy the day. And I hope you all do too. If you have anything that comes up, you want to call in, feel free. And for those who made it out to Tampa B-Sides, I'm sorry I didn't make it this year. It looks amazing, and I wish I could be there with y'all this year, but it just didn't work out. So I will catch up with all y'all soon, and yeah, have a great day. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Hackers IRL. Background music is Simplicity by Macroform. If you've got a story of your own, a breach, a leak, a close call, or just something on your mind, join us. Call 904-915-HACK. That's 904-915-4225. Up to 10 minutes. Choose to preserve your OPSEC, and we distort your voice before anyone hears it. End of transmission.